NBA trade deadline always has its surprises, but none was as dramatic as the one this year when the Brooklyn Nets not only trade Kyrie Irving, but also shipped Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns in a blockbuster move that had everyone, including NBA players, talking. So, join me as I walk you through NBA players' reaction to KD's move to the Suns. Mikal Bridges. Without a doubt, the most affected by the KD to the Phoenix Suns trade is Mikal Bridges. The small forward, whose consecutive game streak of 367 was threatened by the trade, and he was having the best form of his life until the Suns decided to trade him for Kevin Durant. All 56 of Mikal Bridges' games for the Suns this season were starts, and he averaged 17.2 points on 46.3% shooting, 4.3 rebounds, and 3.6 assists per game. His time with the Suns saw him become the second longest rookie streak in franchise history and the first rookie since Chris Paul to average a steal per game over a 20-game span. Regardless, the trade came as a shock to Mikal Bridges, who took to Twitter to express his shock when he tweeted, "Oh my God, LOL." He, however, took comfort in knowing that he was traded for KD and not just any random player who, in his opinion, was either not good enough to replace him or not good enough for the Suns. It's KD. I get it. I 100% get it. That's just how it is. So, just being a realist at the end of the day. Bridges even kept a sense of humor about the deal going further to state that maybe he would have probably made that trade too since it involved Kevin Durant. Draymond Green. The Golden State Warriors power forward also chimed in on his former teammate's trade to the Suns. Green, who referred to the transaction as madness on Twitter, first stated that he would leave the trade's hype to everyone because he would be recording a podcast to discuss the deadline craziness. Draymond Green, who had a tense relationship with the small forward during their time together with the Warriors, gave credit to the Suns for acquiring Durant and admitted that they are now the favorite to win the NBA title. Green, however, emphasized that he was dissatisfied with how much the Suns had to give up to get the deal done. "The biggest worry I think for Phoenix right now is the depth," Draymond said on his podcast. The four-time All-Star clarified that by parting with Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Jay Crowder, the Suns suffered a severe blow to their roster to sign the star. Green, however, emphasized that he couldn't care less about the 4 unprotected first-round picks, given that the team is trying to win a title now, and as such, they can figure out the picks later. Plus, they have Devin Booker, who they can always trade for at least 5 first-round picks if they wanted to start the rebuilding process over again. In Draymond Green's defense, the Suns have a starting lineup of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and Chris Paul, which leaves the question of who might fill in as their 5th player. Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren, the 2nd overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft, who has yet to play a single game of basketball in the NBA after suffering a foot injury during a Pro-Am game, was unable to hold back his excitement over the trade. Given his profile, Holmgren is often compared to Kevin Durant, and the now Suns star acknowledged this over the offseason. According to KD, Holmgren was going to be a problem in the league. Nevertheless, the former Oklahoma City Thunder 2nd overall pick trade to the Suns had Holmgren excited, and not for the reason you imagine. The 20-year-old shared his excitement about using the Suns in 2K, as he tweeted, "If you start using the Suns on 2K now, you're the problem." CJ McCollum. National Basketball Players Association President CJ McCollum, however, saw the funny side of the KD teaming up with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton in the West. The Pelican guard took to Twitter to blame Memphis Grizzlies point guard Ja Morant for the KD trade. The statement was obviously a joke, but it was made in reaction to Ja Morant's assurance a few months prior that he was fine in the West because the Grizzlies faced no real competition. However, between that remark and the trade deadline, 3 new legitimate title contenders have emerged in the West as they have added stars to their roster, and one of the teams is the Phoenix Suns. Unfortunately, it seems like Ja isn't the only one who has to be worried about the KD deadline deal because McCollum also seems to be concerned, but not about KD moving to the Western Conference. "Can't even go to sleep early anymore this time of year," McCollum tweeted. McCollum's concerns were from the fact that he was afraid he might just be the next in line to be traded in a deal for a star, given that he was traded on the deadline in 2022 in exchange for 4 players and a protected 2022 first-round draft pick, the better of New Orleans's and Portland's 2026 second-round draft picks and New Orleans's 2027 second-round draft pick. Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, another star traded on the deadline day by the Brooklyn Nets to the Western Conference, also weighed in. In their 3 seasons with the Nets, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving combined for just 74 games because they both sustained injuries, and Kyrie had to sit out games due to refusing to take the vaccine and also his anti-Semitic post on Twitter. Nevertheless, they were both traded to the Western Conference on the trade deadline, and while Kyrie has settled in well with the Dallas Mavericks, he expressed his delight at Kevin Durant leaving the Nets just after him. "Glad that Durant got out of there," Kyrie said when asked about his opinion about KD leaving the Nets after him. Kyrie, who admitted that he occasionally felt disrespected during his 3.5-season stay with the Brooklyn Nets, said he was praying for Durant's happiness and well-being. He also said the move wasn't a surprise because he and Durant had discussed their futures frequently while with the Nets. He emphasized that there was a lot of uncertainty surrounding their future, but even at that, whether they were together or not, he cared about seeing each of them in franchises where they could succeed. However, Kyrie didn't take offense to the deal because he recognized that it was just business. Kyrie stated that in KD's and his defense, he and Durant aren't getting any younger, and moving to the West would put them in competition with one another, which Kyrie thinks will be beneficial for both of them. Overall, he appreciates that Kevin Durant left the Brooklyn Nets organization. Chris Paul. Kevin Durant teaming up with Chris Paul with the Suns meant that the Phoenix Suns have brought together a 4-time scoring champion and a 4-time assist champion together, and Chris Paul couldn't hide his excitement. The point guard, who has been with the Suns for 3 years and guided them to their first NBA final since 1993, acknowledged that KD is one of the best players to have ever competed in the league. And, considering that he enjoys shooting the ball, he's looking forward to playing with him. CP3 said that KD's approach to the game and how it will work with him and Booker is an exciting prospect to look forward to. DeAndre Ayton. Another Suns starter who could not hide his excitement about Kevin Durant's trade to the Phoenix Suns is DeAndre Ayton. When asked if the KD trade makes the Suns an NBA title contender, the center replied, "Damn right, you damn right. That's how I feel." Ayton explained that where the Suns haven't been entirely good since the start of the season, as they got beaten a few more times than they anticipated and, as such, had to accept where they are. However, the losses have helped them adapt and gain confidence in such a way that even when they didn't have all the right pieces on the court, they could hold their own. However, the addition of Kevin Durant meant that they are now ready for anything because, at the moment, they have enough firepower to take the game to any team they will ever face. Devin Booker. Suns franchise player Devin Booker appears to be the latest to weigh in on Kevin Durant teaming up with him in the Western Conference. Booker had high praises for his new teammate KD, stating that the 2-time NBA Finals MVP will settle in nicely with their roster. Booker, who played alongside Durant on the Olympic team, stressed that the respect between him and KD is mutual, and he is someone he has always admired and has probably watched the most highlights of. Booker didn't hold back his admiration for Kevin Durant as he further admitted that given his combination of size and skill, he is a special talent that he does not think the NBA would ever see again. Besides, he is looking out for some one-on-ones with Kevin Durant to help perfect his own game too. We can only hope that Kevin Durant's most recent super squad will end up being more successful than his time with the Brooklyn Nets. What are your thoughts on Kevin Durant's most recent super team? Do you think the Phoenix Suns sacrificed too much to get KD? Let me know in the comments section down below.